Have you ever taken a personality test? How accurate do you think the test was? We are interested in exploring the use of artificial intelligence as a tool to enhance the accuracy of the Big Five personality test of a given individual. With psychology and computer science being our two main areas of interest, we plan to introduce a more unbiased and reliable method of personality type identification, and in turn revolutionize the process of searching for suitable individuals both professionally and personally.
So, what is the Big Five personality test? It is a self-reflective questionnaire which measures particular traits on a scale of 1 to 5 through questions based on the five-factor model. The five-factor model covers the extent of openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism of any given individual.
Although it is considered to be a more reliable test and less biased compared to other personality tests out there, there are also valid criticisms made against it. For instance, it faces issues with reliability as it is a self-reported test and therefore can be inaccurate due to faulty self-perceptions. Additionally, it can be hard to quantify an individual's answer to the questions asked, as people often face difficulty choosing the extent to which they relate to a given test question. Moreover, the test fails to take into account individual demographic information and even could face problems such as demand characteristics. Our proposal takes into account these limitations and attempts to mitigate it using the following methodology.
We will begin by gathering data from a sample of 2,000, 8,000 for training and 1,000 for testing, individuals with the help of psychologists who will be answering the answerable questions in the Big Five personality test on the participants' behalf. Then, using the psychologist's answers as the expected output and the corresponding person's OCR and demographic information as the input, through the iterative use of gradient descent and forward propagation, the neural network will be trained to answer questions on the Big Five personality test. After training the neural network for each of the questions, the question outputs will then be fed into the Big Five personality test to get the person's final five-factor model results. For the second method, the same data as the first method will be used, except this time the psychologists will holistically evaluate the participants' five-factor model trait values. With the psychologist's evaluations as expected output and the corresponding person's OCR and demographic information as input, through the process mentioned in method 1, the neural network will be trained to answer a person's five-factor model values.
Typically, when an employer wants to gauge the personality of a prospective job applicant, the applicant fills out the Big Five personality test, answering all the questions themselves, which can be rather subjective and biased. Our system plans to reduce this subjectivity by filtering out questions that we have determined to be answerable, and replacing these answers from the test with the answers from our system.
Ultimately, the purpose of our project is to provide a more objective mechanism to help employers gain insight into each candidate's work style and preferences during the process of hiring to see if the appropriate culture fit is present. Not only does it benefit professionals, but also one's dating life. Since not everyone is active on social media on a daily basis, it would be difficult to generate enough data for accurate training and evaluation for all 1,000 participants. If the sample size is not large enough, the average psychologist's evaluated values would not be significant enough to be used as appropriate training data. Moreover, gathering information from an abundant amount of sources, in this case social media platforms, can also hinder and affect the AI from training data properly.
Simply using a personality test to gauge a person's personality generates several ethical implications, the privacy issue being the most obvious one. Is it fair to be neglected from a potential job if you're unwilling to share your data? Also, what if their use of social media is not reflective of their personality? They may see social media as a chore, engage with it in a polite manner, be not completely honest on it, or tend to use it discreetly. Then, the data collected from the person might give off inherently incorrect results. Over time, machines that are designed with a certain function in mind will significantly overpower humans in that function, and judging personality seems to qualify as one of those tasks. Combined with mass gatherings of an individual's data, in the future we can leave the task of judging other individuals to machines, whether that is a good thing or not.